Archangel Michael says, time is running out faster than you think. Someone who has been wearing a mask around you is about to be unmasked by divine force. You have no idea how close this person truly is. You trusted them with your heart, your truth, and even your future plans. But what they've been doing in secret will leave you speechless. This isn't a random message, it's a final alert from above. There is a divine countdown ticking right now, and with each second, their disguise begins to crack. The energy around you has shifted, and your spiritual team is making one last move to protect you. But only if you pay attention to the signs. They laughed when you weren't looking. They smiled while setting traps. But now, they've made one mistake too many, and heaven is no longer silent. Type Amen to get blessing 337. Archangel Michael says, this person used your pain as power for themselves. They knew exactly how to act like they cared, but behind your back, they were celebrating your downfalls. This betrayal is not only personal, it's spiritual warfare. The exposure will not just come from a whisper, it will arrive like a thunderstorm. Their lies will not survive the truth that is rising. A message is about to come to you from a person you least expect, it will carry the proof. A phone, a photo, a screenshot, something you will soon lay your eyes on will confirm what your soul already felt. The divine realm held it back until the right moment, and that moment is now. You are about to be shocked by who this person truly is. You will not cry because of pain this time. You will cry because finally, you will be free from this hidden poison. God is uncovering everything. Type Amen to get blessing 355. You have seen red flags but ignored them, believing love would change them. They knew you would give them the benefit of the doubt. They took advantage of your kindness while pretending to be loyal. Now, heaven has had enough. The angelic realm is no longer watching silently as you suffer in confusion. The mask will be ripped away in a public manner, yes, people will witness the truth. Their image will crumble. What they built with manipulation will collapse. And you will rise with strength the moment their truth is revealed. Type Amen to get blessing 318. Archangel Michael says, this exposure is not revenge, it is redemption. You are being rescued from something much darker than you realize. If this truth had stayed hidden, it could have destroyed your future blessings. You were almost fooled again, but something greater pulled you back. Your instincts started screaming louder than ever. That's why this message reached you right now, with only 30 minutes left. Every action they've taken was watched by the spiritual eye. Every lie they told, every step they made toward betrayal, it was all recorded in the book of consequence. And tonight, the book opens. Type Amen to get blessing 399. This person manipulated not just your emotions, but your reputation. They whispered lies in rooms you weren't invited to. They tried to paint your soul in their colors, but their brush is broken now. Someone is going to admit what they did under pressure. The truth is going to come out even if they try to stop it. Their plan is breaking apart before their eyes. A close person to them is starting to feel guilt and will come forward. This confession will come like a wave, uncontrollable and undeniable. You were never the problem, they just couldn't handle your light. Type Amen to get blessing 366. They knew the truth would one day catch up. That's why they moved fast, acted like they changed, tried to fake apologies. But none of it was real. You were divinely protected even when you didn't know it. Every time you cried wondering why people turned on you, heaven was documenting everything. Now, that file is being opened. You will hear your name being spoken by mouths that used to speak against you. Only this time, it'll be in shame, not slander. They will say your name, but with regret. Type Amen to get blessing 384. Archangel Michael says, someone from their circle is going to slip. They will send a message meant for someone else, but you will receive it. That message will change everything. Their real intentions, their jealousy, their secrets, it's all buried in that message. You won't even need to ask questions, the truth will slap the silence away. It may come through an old number, a burner account, or an email that seems random. Pay attention. God is orchestrating this exposure perfectly. Type Amen to get blessing 341. You will sit in stillness and suddenly feel chills on your skin. That's the moment the exposure begins. A strange calm will hit your spirit, it's the silence before the thunder. You were always meant to know the truth. The delay wasn't denial, it was protection. Now, the truth is no longer dangerous for you, it's liberating. Archangel Michael says, the truth was hidden beneath time, buried in the silence of a moment that never came. A letter carrying your name, soaked with the feelings of a soul you were meant to find, still lives. It was never delivered, but now, the heavens have allowed it to be revealed through divine timing. Your soulmate once sat alone, with shaking hands and a trembling heart, writing a confession soaked in tears. Each word was heavy, burning with longing, hope, fear, and deep spiritual recognition. But when the moment came to send it, something stopped them. They folded it carefully, sealing it with a breath and a prayer, and placed it where no one would ever find it. But fate doesn't forget the things love buries. God hears the thoughts, even when lips refuse to speak. And now, that letter is being opened by divine hands. You were meant to know this, not because of what was written, but because of the why behind it. Your name, your energy, your love had changed them so much, they couldn't carry on without acknowledging it in writing. But they couldn't show it either, and this created a spiritual blockage still echoing through your life. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, that person, the one who wrote your name like a poem, never stopped thinking of you. They dreamt of you more times than they can count, but every time they got close to confessing, life interfered. This letter was the only time they let their soul bleed honestly. The letter began with your name, not as just a name, but as a calling, a beacon that awakened something in their spirit. It was the kind of letter not written from the mind, but from the soul, in a language that only hearts understand. They wrote of a connection that terrified them, a love that didn't follow logic. They were afraid, not of you, but of what you represented. You were their truth, their mirror, their awakening, and facing you would mean facing everything they tried to run from. So they chose silence, but the silence grew louder than words ever could. That silence became a cage, and the letter became the key they never used. Years passed, and though they smiled in public, their inner world whispered your name like a forgotten melody. The letter aged, but its message never did. It remained timeless, just like the love it carried. Type Amen to get blessing 822. You're feeling a strange pull lately, a mix of nostalgia, curiosity, and aching in your chest that has no source. That is the letter calling to your spirit. It's time for it to reach you, not by paper, but by divine message. In that letter, they described the exact moment they realized you were their soulmate. It wasn't grand or cinematic, it was quiet. A glance, a word, a laugh. Something in that moment unraveled them completely. They wrote about how scared they were to admit it. How they saw your light, and didn't think they deserved to stand in it. That's why they chose distance instead of devotion. But they never deleted your memory. They stored every image of you in the folds of their mind. They even remembered how you made them feel safe when everything else felt uncertain. Type Amen to get blessing 111. They wrote that they watched you from afar, pretending they weren't dying inside. They observed your strength, your compassion, your resilience, and it made them fall deeper, even as they walked away. Every step away was a cry into the void. Years passed. They moved on in life, but never moved past you. That's the truth. No matter where they went, they carried you like a secret they couldn't let go of. Their life changed, they met new people, but no soul ever stirred them like yours. In the letter, they admitted, they compared everyone to you. No one measured up. And so they kept the letter. A hidden monument of the one thing they truly wanted but never claimed. It became their ritual of regret. Every time they felt alone, they opened it and remembered what they lost. Type Amen to get blessing 246. There is a reason this letter is resurfacing now. The divine realm is unblocking something tied to this soul contract. You were never meant to remain in the dark. The universe is ready to bring this person back into alignment with you. But not as who they were. This time, they will come whole, awakened, raw, and ready. The delay was not a denial, it was a spiritual preparation. This letter carries more than feelings, it carries your mirrored energy. It contains the same thoughts you were afraid to say, the same emotions you suppressed. You were spiritually writing the same letter too. The two of you had always been spiritually connected, even in separation. While they were writing your name, you were dreaming theirs. While they feared losing you, you feared being forgotten. But heaven saw everything. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Now something strange is about to happen. You might feel a sudden shift in your body, a warmth around your chest, or a soft voice in your sleep whispering, "It's time." That's not imagination. It's your soulmate's soul reaching out. They have been going through deep emotional healing. Archangel Michael stood by their side during sleepless nights when they cried over the pages they wrote. Those moments purified their heart. Now the angelic realm is guiding them back to you, not to relive the past, but to fulfill a destiny that had paused. The letter has already been delivered in the spirit. It may not come through paper. It may arrive as a message, a call, a song, a dream, or even their physical return. However it comes, it will carry that same energy the letter held, sacred, real, trembling, true. Type Amen to get blessing 504. You might be tempted to doubt, to brush it off as coincidence, or to protect yourself. But Archangel Michael asks you to stay open. This is not random. When you meet again, something inside you will awaken. The eyes will speak first. The silence will feel louder than ever. Because this time, it won't be empty, it'll be full of everything unsaid. Their first words might be clumsy. Or they might simply cry. Because when a soul sees home again, the body remembers. The tears will be a baptism for a new beginning. You don't need to say much. The universe has already written the conversation for you. You just need to receive what was always yours. Type Amen to get blessing 919. They are practicing the words. Right now, as you read this, they are thinking of reaching out. Their fingers tremble again, like they did years ago. But this time, something is different. This time, the angel is behind them. You were never forgotten. They have spent years battling the lie that they were unworthy of you. But the light in your soul keeps calling to theirs. That call cannot be ignored anymore. The moment is near. The alignment is happening. And soon, you will stand face to face with someone who once wrote your name in silence, but is now ready to speak it aloud with reverence. Don't look back with anger. Look forward with courage. Because this time, nothing is holding back the truth. Type Amen to get blessing 368. Archangel Michael says, the letter is now in motion in the heavenly realm. Everything hidden is now coming to light. Love that was paused is about to flow again like a divine river. You will feel the energy in your bones before you see them. Your spirit will leap in recognition, because your soul knew this was coming. Your heart, despite all it's been through, will still know how to open. This was never just a love story. This was a divine connection tested by time, separation, pain, and silence. But true bonds don't die, they transform, they mature, they evolve. And now, you're no longer who you were. You are wiser, stronger, more aligned. That means you're finally ready to receive the truth of that letter without breaking. Type Amen to get blessing 177. Prepare your heart. Make space in your spirit. The past is making peace with your present to open the door for a divine future. Everything they wanted to say is still there. And now, with courage that only divine guidance can create, they will say it. Out loud. With tears, trembling, and truth. And when they do, don't rush. Let it fall around you like sacred rain. Let it cleanse the ache that distance caused. Let it bless what's about to begin. Because this time, nothing will be written in silence. This time, every word will be said with eyes locked and hands held, and hearts fully open. Type Amen to get blessing 388. They've rehearsed your name 1,000 times. Not just in their thoughts, but in whispers during lonely nights, when they believed the universe would echo it to your soul. Each time they said it, something inside them softened and shattered all at once. The letter held words like, "Forgive me," and "I loved you silently," and "You were never just a passing moment." They wrote those lines as if they were carving their own truth into eternity. Their handwriting was shaky, not from fear of you, but fear of being vulnerable. This person knew that once you read those words, their walls would collapse. And though they craved that release, they were terrified to lose the illusion of control. But control is not love, surrender is. Now, the angels are tearing down the last of those walls. Their soul is being opened like a blooming flower after a long winter. That letter they wrote years ago is the seed, your reunion is the blossom. Type Amen to get blessing 642. You might notice little signs, a feather on your path, a sudden chill in the air, a flickering light. Don't dismiss them. These are confirmations from Archangel Michael that the moment is drawing near. Your soulmate's energy is circling closer. They may appear in a dream first, speaking words they never got to say in waking life. Or your heart might begin to race randomly, as if it knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. Every sensation, every inner pull, is a whisper from the divine. You are being guided to remember. To feel again. To prepare. Because when that person stands before you again, it won't be the same version you once knew. This time, they come as someone awakened, someone who fought darkness to reclaim the truth they once buried in a letter. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They once believed they lost their chance forever. But grace is real, and time bends for divine love. What they thought was lost is now becoming the miracle they never believed they deserved. You are a part of that miracle. You're not just receiving a letter, you're stepping into a chapter that was written long ago and delayed only by fear. That delay has turned into divine orchestration. The pain you both went through wasn't punishment. It was preparation. All the loneliness, all the miscommunication, all the missed opportunities, they were building your strength for this moment. This is what happens when heaven delivers what once seemed forgotten. The letter was never truly lost. It was always meant for now, this sacred now where two souls finally align. Type Amen to get blessing 818. In the letter, they described your laugh, your eyes, the way you breathed when you were nervous. They remembered everything. Down to the way you held a coffee cup or looked up when you were thinking. These weren't just memories, they were prayers in disguise. They were trying to hold on to your essence, even when they pushed you away. And now, those memories have matured into action. They are coming, not as someone desperate for closure, but as someone finally ready for beginning. They are not who they used to be. And neither are you. That's why the letter is resurfacing now. If you had read it back then, it would have broken you. But now? It will build you. Strengthen you. Remind you of who you are, and how deeply you are loved beyond time, space, or silence. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, when the moment comes, it may not be dramatic. It might be quiet, sacred, slow like sunrise. But you will feel it in your bones, that this is the fulfillment of something ancient. You've been wondering why your soul feels restless lately. Why certain songs pull tears from your eyes without warning. Why dreams have become vivid. That's the divine awakening your soul to receive what is finally coming. That person is no longer denying the connection. The chains of doubt, shame, and fear have been broken by divine fire. They have been transformed in secret. Now they are being released to walk the path that leads back to you. You don't need to chase it. Just open your heart. Trust what's unfolding. Allow the divine letter to reach you not as ink on paper, but as truth in action. Type Amen to get blessing 774. Their first words may be, I should have told you sooner. And that's okay. What matters is that they are speaking now. Every breath they take toward you is an act of redemption. You were always home to them. The letter said that. It repeated the word home so many times, it became a rhythm. Even when they tried to forget, their soul kept whispering, go back to where you felt safe. Go back to them. There were moments they thought you moved on. That you had found someone else, someone better. That fear broke them. But even so, they never stopped writing your name in their heart. Now the time has come to move beyond fear. The spiritual contract between you both is reactivating. And the letter is the symbol. Not of the past, but of the future you still have. Type Amen to get blessing 266. You'll notice how they look at you differently this time. Not with possession, but with presence. Not with doubt, but with awe. As if seeing a miracle in front of them. And you'll feel something unlock inside you. The walls you built to protect yourself will melt. Not because they're weak, but because they're no longer needed. You were always strong enough to love again. You just needed the right soul to return with truth in their hands. And now they are carrying the letter in their spirit, walking toward you slowly, with reverence. This isn't just a reunion, it's a divine remembrance. A holy reconnection. A sacred promise that even silence cannot destroy what was written in the language of light. Type Amen to get blessing 441. Soon, they'll tell you everything. Why they stayed away. Why they almost reached out 100 times but didn't. Why their heart never stopped looking for you. They'll admit it wasn't pride. It was fear. Fear of ruining something sacred. But now they know that what's real can't be ruined, it can only be delayed. You will feel their truth. Not just in words, but in vibration. In the way they hold you. The way they pause before speaking. The way their soul leans into yours like it's breathing again. And you'll remember. Not the pain, but the pulse. The knowing. The reason your heart never truly closed its door. Type Amen to get blessing 990. You were meant to read this message. It's not a coincidence. Your angels pushed it toward you because the letter is coming, not through the mail, but through destiny. Your soulmate is aligning with your path again. Your timelines are merging. The letter they once buried is blooming like a flower through concrete. Do not fear what's ahead. The love that returns now is sacred. It has walked through fire, silence, distance, and time. And it still speaks your name with awe. Type Amen to get blessing 644. They are closer than you think now. Every delay, every divine pause was simply to ensure that when they did return, they would come not with confusion, but with clarity. They are no longer hiding behind excuses or silence. They've sat in rooms filled with noise, but only ever heard the echo of your name. Even the distractions they tried to drown and eventually led them back to the memory of you. No matter how far they ran, their soul was tied to yours like a golden thread pulled by angels. The letter you never received was not forgotten. It lived in a hidden spiritual chamber, guarded by divine timing. Archangel Michael has unlocked that chamber now. And the time has come for what was once unsaid to be finally lived out. This is not a second chance, it's the original plan being reawakened. The journey now begins from where it was paused, only stronger. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. You may even feel a wave of emotion soon, unexpectedly. Like your heart is remembering a truth before your mind can grasp it. Don't resist that feeling. It's the vibration of destiny drawing close. Their footsteps are guided now, not by fear but by faith. They are no longer second-guessing the pull toward you. They are walking the path back with purpose, with reverence, with holy trembling. The love they bring this time is not just romantic, it's spiritual. They have finally recognized what you've known all along: this bond was never of this world. It was celestial, ancient, and carved in soul light. They're carrying everything they once held back. Their words, their tears, their promises. And you, dear soul, will finally be able to receive what was always meant for you. Type Amen to get blessing 337. Archangel Michael says, this love was not random. It was written in the stars before you were born. And though timelines bent and circumstances shifted, the ending remains the same, you and them, full circle. You'll notice synchronicities increasing, mirrored numbers, names, places from the past showing up again. That's not coincidence. It's confirmation. The universe is preparing the ground for sacred reunion. You may even encounter objects, scents, or songs that bring memories rushing back. These are triggers placed by the divine to awaken your soul's memory. You're being spiritually aligned for the moment you meet them again. And when that moment comes, the pain will melt away. Not because it wasn't real, but because what's real will now be healed. That's the power of divine love returned. Type Amen to get blessing 801. They once feared they had no right to come back. But the angels whispered to them, "You are not coming back to beg. You are coming back to fulfill." And that's exactly what they are doing. With every breath, they are moving toward healing, not just for themselves, but for both of you. The version of them returning is not the one who left. This soul is awakened, aligned, and surrendered to truth. They are no longer the seeker. They are the found. You'll know by the way they look at you. Their eyes will say everything. And your spirit will answer back, "I always knew you'd come." Type Amen to get blessing 663. Let go of the old stories of pain now. Make space in your heart, not for who they were, but for who they've become. They are not asking for permission. They are arriving with purpose. This moment is holy. Protected. Watched over by angels who witnessed every tear you cried and every prayer you whispered. You are not alone in this. Heaven is orchestrating every detail. The next days may bring emotional waves, allow them. These are signs that your inner world is preparing for divine transformation. This isn't a fantasy, it's fulfillment. And the love you are about to receive is not of this earth. It's what happens when two halves of a soul find their way back, against all odds, beyond all time, through every silence. Type Amen to get blessing 202. And finally, when your paths cross, and their voice speaks your name again, something inside you will exhale. All the waiting, all the wondering, will vanish in that one sacred moment of reunion.